Ricky Gamer here. We're back to another video, and in this video we're gonna be talking about my trip to Honduras Part 2. Now in this video there is gonna be a slight change after this video. One, there will be Part 3, and two, there will be a new series in Minecraft, but not Pocket Edition, a PC version. So yeah, I'm gonna do a solo series, and yeah, unless if you guys have a Realm server that you want me to join, I will happily join. And if you guys want to also record with me at that same server, you're happy to tell me what time you want me to join, and I'll tell you when I'll get there or if I'm busy at that time. So yeah, let's get started with the part 2. So we made it to the airport. Gave our papers and all. And had to look for our bags. And when we made it to the front of the airport, I saw that my grandmother was there, and so was this dude that I don't know until later at the trip. And they got us a car for us. But when I first made it here, we had to rent a car to go to the house. So yeah, it was like a 4-hour drive, but we only drove for about like 15 minutes until we made it to this restaurant. And my grandmother do know that I love fries with fried chicken. So this restaurant, she said it was a perfect place for us to start the vacation. And man, it was so good. Sure, the fries were a bit hard, but man, they were so good. Too bad I didn't eat that much. Now that I kind of remember this, I wish I ate more. So yeah, we started our journey to the house. Which, by the way, we went from San Pedro Sula to the Sonaguera. So if you see that at the map, you can see that it takes a very long time to get there. And we waited. I waited for about like 1 hour, and my brothers, they just fell asleep automatically. They didn't even last like 10 minutes. So yeah, it's like 10 minutes after we made it to that restaurant, they just fell asleep. And I lasted for 1 hour until I fell asleep after we went from left, right, man. I mean, a few people will usually, well, I usually get dizzy when that happens, but to me to fall asleep during that, it's kind of weird for me. And so yeah, we made it to the house where I somehow woke up at the same time we made it, and we were greeted with two dogs like jumping excitedly to see us. And it was two old, well, no, there was one old dog and one young dog. This one was, the younger one was white with brown spots. They call him stain in Spanish because, the brown spots. And this other dog, I don't know if they named him, but all I know is that he's just pure orange. They usually get orange dogs. I'm not so sure what kind of dog it is, because like I'm not usually that person that knows what type of dogs are there. So yeah, when we made it there, my brothers, they just ran to the they just ran inside and trying to find where was the bed. I was like, man, they're going crazy. Anyway, so we had a guest room which was a little small, but I say it was a pretty good room. And my brothers fell asleep automatically. We didn't even decide which bed. They just slept. We only had two big beds, so it was two people at one bed and then two people at the other. So I slept with my brother and my younger brother John, and my baby brother slept with my dad. And although I didn't sleep until later, during the night because I really want to find where were the chickens sleeping, but I wasn't able to find that day. And I saw um that big giant tower that um my dad told me that someone in our family owns an internet company. So I see that tower, and I know that's a tower for our internet. And by the way, this internet tower, let me just tell you, that the trip, this internet tower becomes a hot topic during this trip. Anyway, um, so as I gave up to find the chickens, I decided that I should go to sleep since um, it was basically two in the morning, and um, at the time at the U.S. that would be midnight. If I'm correct, it's midnight. So you can tell why I fell sleepy and how I gave up. And yeah, so at the second day, nothing happened. Just me relaxing, just look, looking and chasing the chickens. I usually like chasing the chickens, and but they had more baby chickens than the last time I came here. Um, so at the third day, my dad decided that even though it's a trip, and he likes it how we relax, he wants us to go go somewhere with him, and he decided that we should go to the fair at the city of the Sonagera. So we went there, and we went through bumper cars, and man, those the bumper cars there, oh man, it was so awesome. There was like uh, there was like this little spot filled with like 10 10 bumper cars, and believe it or not, everyone just kept crashing. No matter where you turn, you can't just turn one place to avoid one crash, because otherwise you end up crashing someone. So yeah, you have to either go straight or just be careful, you know. Um. So yeah, although we end up paying to like go on the rides, it was pretty fun. Um. Then we went to this roller coaster, which, believe me, it was for babies, but I was kind of scared because, well, the safety at there wasn't usually how the U.S. um how roller coasters are in the U.S. You know, they don't have those railings inside the carts, so you can tell why I was scared. In fact, there was one part of the roller coaster that goes left to right, like how I fell asleep at that car ride. It was exactly like that, but way shorter. Man, it was like left, then right automatically, then right, left automatically. Oh man, you can tell why I was scared. Um, but I did have fun being scared. It's like my favorite part at any trip. It's like getting scared. So um, we went to the house, and I I was still trying to look uh for that tree that the chickens sleep in, but I still wasn't able to find it because when we were at the fair it was day, but when we left it was night, so I wasn't able to see where the chickens were climbing at. So yeah. Um. So the fourth day comes around. I was doing some relaxing, you know, and I was yeah, it was basically relaxing. It was similar to day two, but um, day five, oh man, this is when it goes crazy. Um, so you know that internet tower I was talking to you about? Yeah. Well, my grandmother knows a dude who lives by the same neighborhood um as they live, and this dude is like, well, I would say high is a good word, but like, yeah, he does use so much marijuana that he does crazy stuff. I mean, they say that this is usual. He does this. He climbs the internet pole and just stays there. Here, maybe I could get a picture for you guys to see. And believe me, I was freaked out how this dude just climbed here. Alright, so you can see at this photo that you can see that the guy is on that tower, and he didn't just sat there though. He literally stayed there laying around, like literally laying on that telephone pole and actually climbing up and down during a storm, as you can see at the background at that photo. Now I was scared. I was scared so much. I mean, I'm trying to avoid cursing here, but man, I was that scared. I was that scared to even try cursing at this video. So yeah, and it was during a storm, a thunderstorm, which had high winds, and it could have if he didn't hold on so tightly, he would have fell off of that internet pole, and that would have been the scariest thing I was seeing at that trip so far, besides the roller coaster. um, but he climbed up and down like 4 times, and I overheard some people speaking in Spanish that this wasn't the first internet pole that he climbed on. He climbed other internet poles at that same day. However, I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I do know there is an internet pole right around the corner, so I'm not so sure. But I wasn't able to see the internet pole because there was so much trees, so I wasn't able to see. But I was able to see at this one by just getting a little bit far from the house. And yeah, oh man. When he came down though, my dad was screaming at him that he doesn't want to see him up at that tower, or else he'll get him, or the police will get him. Either way, I know when my dad is angry, and when he's angry like this, he is being legit. He ain't a guy to mess around with. Um. So yeah. This wasn't the first. This wasn't the last time I saw him though. During the trip, there was a second time, but we'll get to that later at the second week. So yeah, that was a pretty scary experience I have experienced. However, at that same day, I did find the tree that chickens was sleeping at, and I can't believe it was literally right in front of me the whole time. Like when I was looking for it, I thought the tree would be at the backyard, but literally I was like right in front of it when I was looking for that tree. So I'm like 5 days it took me to find a tree that was literally right in front of me, filled with chickens. Oh man. So at the 6th day, um we're just relaxing, and my grandmother decided to make my favorite food ever since I first stepped at Honduras, which was pupusas. She makes the best pupusas, like the cheese kind, not the other kinds. But man, she makes the good pupusa, man. I could just feel the taste right now. I mean, like, oh my gosh, it's so delicious. And I ate 3 pupusas. When she gave it to me, she gave me 3, and she gave me another 3 because I wanted more. But then I wanted a bit more. Oh man! But I didn't want to eat so much because um not only I don't want to like eat so much at someone else's home, I also don't want to make my grandmother so tired to make pupusas. So I decided not. I mean, like 6 is enough. I mean, she got the other 3 waiting for me as if she knew I wanted more. Oh man. So we're at the 6th. I'm at the 7th day, and it was the first week. Um, the ending of the first week, and my dad decided that we should go at this river that he likes. However, what wasn't planned was that we would go to 2 rivers. So yeah, the first one was a little dirty river. I mean, they had like sandbags to keep the river like overflowing. Um, and there was a lot of sand in the river. However, I did like how it looked, which one side was so much trees, and the other side um was filled with rocks, and the it was it was pretty dangerous to like try climbing down straight down because yeah, we're about like 10 feet high, maybe even more. Um, I don't know. I mean, like it did look 10 feet high for me, but I did feel like it's more than 10 feet. So yeah, so I had to climb down a little careful. However, I did have to climb up and down for my brother because I felt like I needed to protect my brother from situations like this. Because it was basically my duty. I mean, my mom told me to. Um, which I always take this type of thing seriously. Um, but I did enjoy how we brought the goggles, go underwater, and we could see these little fishes around. Oh man. And there was this one part of the river where it looks like as if like it the water's warm at that spot. It was like a hot spot there. And that was at the middle part of where the um the line was for the rocky side and the forest side. And man, it looked beautiful. It was like a big cave. And when we were leaving, we did bring this kid with us. He was my cousin. We brought him we brought him with us to the river, and that spot where I told you about the was like a cave. Yeah, well, he went there with my dad, and uh, we were gonna leave, and he he was leaving first because my dad let him go first because he knows how dangerous it was, and then he saw him slip and fell on the rocks. Well, not face down, but like it's like as if it hit his neck or something, and then like, well, he was young, so he kind of like put his shirt up and then just it's like as if he's trying to chew off his shirt. So my dad suspected that he got hurt, and he didn't told us until he made it out of the river. And when we were changing, we saw his injury. He was bleeding under his neck. We could see a little bit inside, and oh man, me and John were acting weird while my baby brother was just screaming because we were acting weird. Oh man, it's like once when I saw that, I felt like I had something on my neck, even though I don't. I mean, I always be careful in new places like this or slippery spots, you know. So yeah, we had to drop him off at his house or something, so that his parents, which is my aunt and this other dude, I think get him to a hospital or something, or just put on a band-aid while he just stays at home. Anyway, we went to another river. It was a big one. I mean, it was a little bit dangerous, but I say it was better than the other one. Um, it was like looking at the Grand Canyon. I mean, seriously, if I took a video, um, at that spot, you could see how large it is and how deep you have to go to make it on water. So even though we were using the stairs, it was still pretty dangerous to use the stairs because um one I mean most of these steps on the stairs are like smaller than my baby brother's feet. So we had to take baby steps to like make it down there. And by the way, this was a long staircase, so if you fall down here, you probably will get a concussion. or yeah, you probably get concussion or might have sustained a lot of injuries to probably even die. So yeah, we had to be careful a lot. And by the way, these stairs are like stone. You know what you expect. I mean, both sides of the river are like made out of rocks. So even underwater, there's like rocks under. So we had to climb a little bit, a few rocks, to make on the pond. That's near a waterfall. By the way, this was a small waterfall. And it had some rocks underwater that like prevents people from like going in the waterfall. But I highly doubt that anyone will fall from this waterfall, unless if it was an infant floating on water. Um, but yeah, you get the point. So we stayed there for about like 2 hours, and when we made it back up there, we ate pupusas that my grandmother made, and oh man, those still good. And we came back to the house, and we didn't saw my cousin until the next day. So we either suspected that he rested at his home, or his mother probably brought him to a hospital. Um, so yeah. Okay, so we're at the second week, which by the way, not that much things happen at the second week. Only three to four days of this week we're actually like having big events besides us staying at the house watching TV or just relaxing and all. So yeah, we at the first week at the first day of the second week, we my grandmother decided to have us have a tour at the house that they decided to build for us to stay in Honduras the next time we come here. When I grow up, because they really want us to stay there for more than a year. Um, and when we had this tour, they literally made the house as if it was a mansion. So I mean, I literally want to stay there for more than a year because of this house. And by the way, I did saw this. I saw this house the first time I went to Honduras. So a lot has changed from the time I made it. Um, the time I made it back. Um, so yeah, that was the first day. At the third day of the second week, my dad decided to like take us to the beach, and oh my gosh, going to the beach at that time was one of the most remarkable days on my trip to Honduras. Um, we went to go to the beach for about 3 hours. It was a long car ride to get there, and we stayed there for 3 to 2 hours, and it would have been 4 hours, but my dad convinced me to get out of the water, to go to this restaurant he knows that makes really good fried chicken. And we went there, and it was really around the corner of where we parked. And I think he said something about $1. Um, 1 US dollar is like worth a bag of 4 pieces of fried chicken and 4 tortillas. And man, those so delicious. He bought about like I don't know how many. I mean, he brought a big bag, and he gave each me and my brothers a bag. And I think he also, yeah, he gave one also to my grandmother and my grandpa too. And he I don't think he bought one for himself, but I think he did to save it or something. I don't know. I never seen him eat it, so I'm guessing he didn't bought it. So I I I was eating the fried chicken so slowly because it was so delicious and I wanted to savor the taste that it took the whole car ride to actually finish the 3 pieces of fried chicken. And the reason why I didn't eat one was because I saved one for to feed one of the dogs for it. Um, when we made it there, when we made it at home. I gave it to the dog with brown spots because the dog with orange fur was like always being mean to the dog with brown spots. So I decided to feed it to the one with brown spots because you know, that reason. So when I gave him that fried chicken, it looked like he wanted more. So I gave him a tortilla because I kind of ran out of fried chicken, and he still accepted eating the tortilla, and he literally gave me those puppy eyes. Oh man, I literally wanted to give him at least one more meal. Oh man, but I wasn't able to find anything to give to that dog. But the dog literally liked me so much. It followed me around the house when I get in. Oh man. I mean, like, you know the time when that guy climbed up at the internet tower and there was a big storm? Yeah, that dog literally followed me inside. And whenever I leave the room, he follows me to that next room. Man. So yeah, we're at the second last day, and lots of people are trying to see us one last time to say goodbye and all, because at the last day we're just gonna wake up, get our bags ready, and go right to the airport and yeah, leave Honduras. So yeah, that's all for today, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all at the next video. By the way, the next video will probably be a Minecraft PC version episode. So yeah, I'll see you guys at the next episode of Minecraft.